knowledge and attitude towards voluntary blood donation among students of the Faculty of Health in Vlora, Albania. Blood and blood products are a unique and precious national resource because they are obtainable only from individuals who donate blood or its components. Most countries urgently need a substantial increase in the number of people who are willing and eligible to donate blood in order to ensure a stable supply of safe blood and blood products that is sufficient to meet national requirements. Blood transfusion services face a dual challenge of ensuring both a sufficient supply and the quality and safety of blood and blood products for patients whose lives or well-being depend on blood transfusion. Developed countries with well-structured health systems and blood transfusion services based on voluntary blood donation are generally able to meet the demand for blood and blood products. They must constantly strive to maintain adequate blood stocks in the face of rising clinical demands, increasingly stringent donor selection criteria, and the loss of all the donors who are no longer eligible to give blood. Nevertheless, even though there may be periodic or seasonal shortages, access to safe blood for all patients requiring transfusion can generally be taken for granted. Overall, developed countries are likely to have effective blood donor programs, more voluntary donors, higher donation rates, and more available blood. Blood transfusion saves lives and improves health, but many patients requiring transfusion do not have timely access to safe blood. Providing safe and adequate blood should be an integral part of every country's national healthcare policy and infrastructure. An adequate and reliable supply of safe blood can be assured by a stable base of regular, voluntary, unpaid blood donors. These donors are also the safest group of donors as the prevalence of blood-borne infections is lowest among this group. The methodology of this study. The data was collected using pre-tested, structured, self-administered questionnaire. It includes questions on socio-demographic characteristics of students and questions with thought knowledge, attitude, and practice regarding blood donation. This was a cross-sectional descriptive study conducted among students of the Faculty of Health at the University of Vlora, Albania in February 2022. The aim of the study was to evaluate the knowledge and attitude of students towards voluntary blood donation. Ethical approval was obtained from the Faculty of Health. Each study participant was asked to participate voluntarily after they had been informed about the objective of the study. They had also been informed that the participation was voluntary, in which the participants had full right to withdraw at any time. Results: a total of 492 students who filled out Google Forms participated, and 435 were female gender, about 88.4%. 149 were students of first year of studies, and 79 students, about 16.4%, were in master class. 52.8% did not know their blood type. Regarding the question if they had ever donated blood, the most of them referred that they had never donated blood, about 83.6%. Only 15% had donated blood, and of these, 25.7% had donated for the needs of family member or relative. 32.4% referred that the reason of not donating was presence of health problems. 92.1% answered that the best way to donate blood was voluntary. Then, for the needs of a relative and the least appropriate way was paid donation. One of the problems that appears in the blood donation process, according to the students, was the transmission of some infectious diseases, where 77.2% of them mention HIV and hepatitis. The participants in the present study had good knowledge about some donor selection criteria, such as age range, minimum hemoglobin, and body weight required, however, showed a gap in knowledge about the criteria related to some common psychological, pregnancy, menstruation, etc., and pathological states, diabetes, hypertension, hepatitis B. Expansion of the study. This study reflects varying levels of knowledge and attitudes at students regarding blood donation. Similarly, in other studies conducted in other countries among undergraduate nursing and medical students, incomplete knowledge about voluntary blood donation was reported. In other studies, the main reasons reported for not donating blood are fear of needles, the very sight of blood, concerns regarding adverse effects, disapproval of the family, and never being asked for. In our study, the main reason were inadequate health conditions. About the conclusions of the study, we can say that the study has reported a low level of awareness among medical students about blood donation and even more unsatisfactory blood donation practices. However, a positive attitude toward blood donation is reported. Furthermore, a high level of willingness to donate blood in future is expressed in most of the studies. These findings highlight the need to hold regular teaching and training programs for medical students aimed at educating them about safe and voluntary blood donation, so that the gaps in knowledge can be bridged and the willingness to donate blood can be translated into actual blood donation. This reflects a need for ongoing educational and motivational activities for encouraging voluntary blood donation by the students. Since many students reported being underweight and anemic as reasons for not donating blood, these nutritional factors also need to be looked into. Regular health checkups along with provision of nutrition meals should be ensured for the students. The students of the Faculty of Health, who in the near future will become an active part of the health care system, it's necessary to undertake a motivational campaign based on the educational courses. It is suggested that the positive attitude expressed by students should be returned to regular practice, thus increasing voluntary blood donation. For the attention.